ready?
I'm ready.
I now call the Crosby Township Board of Trustees regular meeting for January 8th, 2024 to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Lohman,
Here.
Mr. Hyam,
Here.
Mr. Heiss,
Yeah, here.
Approval of the minutes for the regular meeting held December 11th, 2023.
I make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Lohman,
Yes.
Hyam,
Yes.
Heiss,
Yes.
Approval of the minutes for the special organizational meeting held December 28th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Lohman,
Yes.
Hyam,
Yes.
Heiss.
Yes.
At the end, I'll get the, I need to put signature lines on the bottom of that organizational meeting, actually, I'll just have you guys sign
Yeah.
the bottom of it without signature lines. It doesn't matter.
Approval to pay the bills as have been presented over the past month.
I make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Who was the motion on that?
Chuck.
I mean, yeah.
Lohman,
Yes.
Hyam,
Yes.
Heiss.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to change the meeting up a little bit. Go to the first part of Brenda's report, and then we're going to give some awards out for the Kringle Chest people that helped out. So Brenda's sick tonight because this is her big thing, and so I'm going to try to wing it, and I know I won't do as good as she did. So I'll read what she's got, and then we'll go ahead and do it. We have some representatives from the different phases of the 17 years of Crosby Kringle Chest Christmas benefit for our township children with us tonight. I would be presenting the certificates of appreciation to them in just a few minutes with a summary of the 2023 program. You will see all the wonderful results of a program supported by the people of Crosby Township. So the Crosby Township Kringle Chest Children's Christmas Benefit 2023 is a Santa success story. 64 children woke up Christmas morning delighted that Santa had come. 24 families benefited from the Kringle Chest program. The program began 18 years ago with the reindeer romp race as a fundraiser. The community supported this program from the beginning, and when the race ended, the community continued the project. In November, Brenda sent out invitations to the community businesses and friends who donate the money and resources needed. Crosby School uses their resources to reach the families that are then vetted by the school counselor, Nicole Lee. Brenda receives the names and wish lists of the children and organizes the project to generate the list of shoppers who can match and meet the number of children. The army of shoppers received their list and began their role as Santa's helpers. The gifts are received for the 64 children and sorted and prepared on family tables spread throughout the community center in preparation of a community wrapping party. The parents of the 64 children come the next day and pick up their Christmas presents the week before Christmas. This year there were 24 families blessed by the program, 64 children blessed by the program, 28 donors, which included cash donations, food boxes from Nice Chemical Company and Crossway Church, and gift cards from Welch Sand and Gravel. 18 shoppers, 50-plus gift wrappers at the Christmas wrapping party. This is what it looks like when Crosby Township comes together on a community project. There were approximately 100 key people who successfully made this happen. There were many more that supported their efforts. Of those 100 with family members and friends, like Brenda's husband Jim and son Mark. Also, the trustees continue to volunteer when needed. And then we've got a couple special guests here for recipients from the benefits, Olivia Smith and Alicia Perry Wilson. So we can come around the front. Nicole Lee. Did you want to say something? Sure. Like how it all happens, kind of, because you're like at the beginning of the.
Okay, I guess I'll use the microphone. I'm Nicole Lee. I'm the counselor at Crosby Elementary. I've been in the district almost 10 years, and since I've been at Crosby, been working with this program. We meet as a counseling team to kind of take the whole list from our entire district of the families that need help if they're on the free or reduced list. So we all work together first. That's kind of the first step that starts in October, and then pass out forms to each family member, work on getting those back, and then I connect with Brenda. I just want to say you guys always do a wonderful job with this. Anytime we have, late additions or things like that, Brenda always is more than happy to accommodate. So we really appreciate your guys' support and definitely are making a difference with our families. So we thank you all very much.
Thank you. You're the one that makes it happen. Wow, we need,
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
Alvis Materials. Is there someone for there? Mr. and Mrs. Bill Weisbrot. Guess they're not here. Jim and Carolyn Ennis. This is Crosby Seniors Club. You have to give a 20-minute talk.
We want a speech.
Do you want to say anything?
Speech.
Yeah, I should have been here for the wrapping party. I got a $100 speeding ticket on our way to Atlanta, so I should have been here.
Ed and Linda Colgate.
They're in Florida.
Lucky them. Oh, there it is. Greenspan Sod Farm, Mr. and Mrs. Teeters. Dennis Hyab.
He's here. I just want to say that Brenda Jackson and her crew, I don't know where she comes up with all the energy to get this done. She is a fantastic person on following through with all the details, and without her, I don't know if this could happen in a timely fashion.
It wouldn't. Nolman Farms. Ken and Lisa Crawford. Kevin Fleeman. I guess you're right. Everybody's watching the game tonight.
Football game tonight.
Denier Electric.
He's here.
Modern Day Concrete. Do you want to say anything?
Just
Thank
you.
you.
And good
No,
job
thank
with
you.
Brenda.
Thanks for coming. Nutrien. Brian and Diane Carter. I heard you're going to sing a song.
Just happy we can do it.
Thanks for doing it. Rick Losekamp. Scherzinger Drilling. Want to say anything?
Just glad to be part of it.
Thanks for being part of it. Welsh Sand and Gravel. Nobody from Welsh? Pastor Dale West, Crossway Community. Somebody from Fort Scott neighborhood for the turkey trot race. So they still do a little thing on their own and raise, I think they raise about $1,000 usually. Since they quit the reindeer romp, Fort Scott still does like a walk or like a 5K or something and raise money for this cause, so. River Metals Recycling.
Just want to say I'm glad we could help out. Hopefully we're going to do more here in the future. So just keep hitting us up. We'll help out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You know we will. Do Well Association.
We're proud to help everything, help it work out for you guys and make a success for you.
Thank you.
Thanks for helping us. Ohio Horsemen's Council. Where's the horse? Where's the horse at?
Hey, man. That's right. My horse is parked out back. And I just want to say, oh, here we go. Picture, photo op. I'm going to give my buddy Dennis Hyam. Thank you. Crosby my name is Ann Frederick. I'm with Hampton County, Ohio Horsemen's Council. We're a wholly nonprofit organization throughout the state of Ohio. And for many, many years, Crosby Township has allowed us to have all of our meetings and educational programs here for free. So it has been a huge benefit to the equine industry and others who come and speak at our group to allow us to use this facility. It's a blessing to us, and thank you so much, and we're very happy to be a donor.
Thank you. Crosby Township Firefighters. Nice Chemical Company.
On and on. How many people participate in this?
Noel Schlaubach.
These are Sanson's shoppers.
Okay.
So these are all the shoppers.
Jenny Keefe. Michelle Miller. Jennifer Snyder. Yeah, she's in the back. Lydia Whitman. Sheena Ashcraft. Brittany Enneking. Jennifer Strong. Carrie Hirsch. Emily Bamonte. Oops, I'll get it. Molly Darple. Renee Ringel. Stephanie Frankenstein. CJ Sosby. Shannon Newscable. Erica Beck. Nicole Klein. Chelsea Kist. What are these?
These are rappers. Not really,
They play rap music.
I guess.
Luann Lee. You want to say anything?
Oh, this was our first year of rapping, and I was in control of Uncle Joe and Emil, and they listened to me, and we had a good time. Ready to do it again.
Good. Well, thanks for helping. There's a lot to do. Joe Simpson. I know he's got something to say.
That's all. I thank you.
Thank you. Emily Nagelson. I'm sorry, Emil. I didn't practice reading these, so.
Yeah, it was my first time here. It was very interesting. They had an assembly line between Joe and I and Leanne here, so it worked out real well.
Well, I know you guys were fast because you got that table done and you went out and did other ones, so. You had a good line going.
Assistance.
Vivian Turner. Thanks. Mark and Charlotte Tyree.
That's it.
And that's it.
Give everybody a round of applause.
You can walk around and do your report.
I'll just use Dennis's.
She probably works that camera better than us. She's a pro. She's doing the panoramic.
All right. Good enough. Good job.
Yeah.
So you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting if you don't want. So if you want to go, you're free to go.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, I'll leave it.
What?
It promises to not be very entertaining.
Thank you, I'm leaving.
You know, that might be something we have to use. Absolutely. Okay, cool. Appreciate it, thank you. What's your name again? Mike. Mike? Jason. Thank you.
You know how I can tell? His name's Mike.
All right, we'll continue with the regular meeting. So under correspondence, so my term ended at the end of the year and started at this meeting. So I was sworn in on Sunday by Judge ICRC. So I have the paperwork I'll give to Brenda. Then the West Jad meeting was this past Thursday, the 4th. Gwen Lawhorn was supposed to go off, and someone for Whitewater Township was supposed to come on, but Whitewater couldn't find and nobody would volunteer to do it, so they asked Gwen to do it again, so she's going to do it again this year.
That's on West Jad.
Yes, and she enjoys doing it, so. I had the report somewhere. I don't know why I put their report, but basically, there was really nothing too new with West Jad. They have two newer vehicles, so they're not looking to really do too much this year as far as any big expenditures or anything. And financially, they're sound. I think they'd gotten raises at the end of last year, so it was a pretty quiet meeting. But I think they're staffed pretty good now. They had hired some more people late last year. They're all part-time. There was a fraud risk questionnaire for the audit, which I did. I was having a hard time, and I know Dennis was telling me to do it off the computer, so Brian helped me printed it off and then sent it to them. Fernald has weekly things going on. January 13th, at Rumpke Landfill, you can take Christmas trees or yard trimmings and leaves to, if you're a Hamilton County resident, you can take it to Rumpke Landfill and get rid of it.
That was on the 13th?
Yeah, it was the 9th and 13th, but the 9th's already, well, that's tomorrow.
It's
I
tomorrow.
think. Yeah, I think it was 9th and 13th, but I know the 13th was one of them.
Just Christmas trees disposal?
And yard, yeah, and yard, any yard, you can take brush or leaves. And then Hamilton County Commissioner Alicia Reese is invited any of us to February 6th at 5:30 for the State of the County report at Memorial Hall and over the Rhine. I might try to go to that.
What day is that?
February 6th, the Tuesday. We got our certificate of occupancy for the shelter. I'll give it to you, and you can give it to whoever needs it or wherever it needs to go from the county.
Probably needs to go to him. Matt.
And then there's this First Suburbs of Consortium of Southwest Ohio. They want us to join it for $200, and I say to table it, or unless anybody else thinks we should do it. Did you get that?
No.
I'll give it to you and you can look at it. And then there's a Hamilton County quarterly meeting for the local emergency planning is Wednesday the 10th at 9 a.m. at Hamilton County Education Service Center on Hamilton Avenue.
That's called the what?
Hamilton County Local Emergency Planning Meeting. They have a quarterly meeting. And that's on the Wednesday the 10th, so this Wednesday at 9 a.m. That's all I have. Dennis?
The ICRC meeting is January 25th over at the ICRC studio. And it starts at 5:30 with a light lunch, and it'll end by 7, so I'll be going to that. And then I was contacted by Bob May. I don't know if everybody else got that email. He took pictures of the leaking gutters and the cleanup at the new shelter and texted that to DWA. So they should be attending to that hopefully pretty soon. And that's pretty much all I have.
Thank you. Chuck?
Yeah, I guess Dennis and I attended a meeting on December the 15th to update the Hamilton County Sheriff Office, all the new technology, I guess, and so Dennis and I went to that. I got an email from the Hamilton County Public Health fourth quarter 2023 reports from the Commissioner Greg Kesterman, I guess, Kesterman. That was that report. Then on December the 15th, LM launches the first ever podcast series that's connected to this Department of Energy. It's the 20th anniversary. It started December 15th, 2003. So that is online. They like history and all kind of different things.
So who was that?
It's LM launches first ever series. It's on the computer. I don't know. Could you guys get that too?
I probably did. It's
It's just LM?
Yeah.
land management.
Okay.
It connected to the Department of Energy. So,
They send us an email every month.
yeah, they got a special 20th anniversary. It started 20 years ago. So, and then I also got something from Phenol Preserve, the rainway report for the month. Every month it says what happened at the Phenol Preserve. And then I gotta give a copy to Mike Morris. There's a company called Strawer, STRAWER Construction Inc. They go by the SCI. They putting on a 4-hour CPA credit on how to preserve the road and maintenance. Could you get a copy of that? Could you get a copy of it? Yeah.
I can't make that meeting.
Okay. So I think Mike might want to go to it.
Okay.
And up in Hamilton,
STRAWER?
yeah, STRAWER, STRAWER. It's from 9 in the morning to 1 o'clock. They're providing lunch at no cost to us. In the Butler County Engineer Office at 1921 Fairgrove Avenue. I got a copy of it. Did you have a copy?
I think I got the email also.
Oh, okay. So maybe Mike and I can go up together, or somebody, one of the trustees. That's the 24th is rainway. So.
January 24th, you said?
Yes. It's probably about it's downtown city of Hamilton. So, and all I have. But that probably, because that's something that would really be useful for us. They're having like 3 speakers talking about different things. So, and must be pretty good because you can get 4 hours of CPA credit. CPE credit, I'm sorry.
You said it's 9 to 1?
Yeah. Yeah. I know you've got a copy. I got email on that.
I probably have it. I'll
Yeah,
probably
so. I thought that would be really important for us to go. So, Mike and I or whoever can go in on our pickup truck or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I assume you want to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I think one of us need to go too. So, but I'm willing to go if you guys
I
can't.
mean, if you want to go, that's fine.
Okay. So Mike can get with me.
Okay.
At my old homestead, I worked 40 and a half years in the city of Hamilton, so I know all about Hamilton. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Guest, Sheriff Lieutenant Stuckey.
All right, so for the month of December, we had 113 calls. We had 7 criminal reports, 1 non-criminal report. We had 5 of those cases assigned to our detectives. None were closed this month. We had 6 auto crashes and no DUI or OVI arrest. One thing I wanted to ask, and I emailed the trustees, reference this. We got assigned a new captain, so he is inquiring from all of the liaison officers for the townships and villages what the townships or villages find are the most important needs that they have in their area. So in the email, I gave you a couple of suggestions of what you find or you may think is important to the township and what you would like us to focus on as the sheriff's office. Just going down the list, and I know that Mr. Hive gave me a list, but I wanted to hear from everyone of what do you find to be like the most important things, like the neighborhood watches or patrols, speed enforcement, school patrol, business patrols, vacation checks, area patrols, or just making contact with the citizens? What things do you want from the sheriff's office, basically? So did you want to?
What was the, Dennis gave you a list?
Dennis gave me the list, yes, and he put it, his priorities are area patrols as being number 1, the traffic enforcement is number 2, 3 is school patrols, 4 is the neighborhood patrols, 5, he has his business patrols, 6, vacation checks, and 7 is contact with citizens. Is that kind of where you all agree, or do you would like to move something up, or?
I would think that depend on the, when, I guess like in the schools start, you probably want to do more school patrol.
Okay.
Summertime, you would probably want to do more traffic control or
Okay, so you want it seasonal of what moves up and what moves down then? So in the fall time, more school patrols, or he's just trying to get a feeling of what you find to be more important for the township and what you want us to focus on more, maybe than, it's not going to be, the rest are going to be ignored. It's just something, what's your priorities of what you would,
I think definitely the contact with citizens would be at the bottom.
okay.
What was the one you had for, what was number 1, what you said?
I
He,
gave her my list.
he has area patrols,
And the reason I did area patrols, because that would take in all the other patrols
right,
instead of just listing them
Okay.
separately. That
Right.
way, it's broad-based. And I was just looking over my priorities over the whole year, not breaking it down in the school year or vacation time or anything like that.
and that's fine. I mean, it's just looking at it as far as making sure that your needs are met. That's all this is for. So if you agree upon that, or if you want schools to be in the fall and, or
Because with
Or
an
if you
area
feel
patrol, you're
covering it,
It's kind of,
your car is visible throughout the entire township.
okay,
And then that way, they know that you have a presence there.
okay. As long as you all agree upon that, and that's fine by me. I mean, that's,
I guess based on your history, a certain area, Crosby Township, you may want to concentrate more on than
correct.
some other
And that's
area.
what I think area patrols are. If we have a concentration on car break-ins or things happening or what have you, that would fall into the area patrols.
yeah, because
So
things could
that's-
change. You could have a rash of
Exactly.
break-ins of cars, so then that would shift your priorities,
Okay.
of course.
That's fine.
You might want to get with, I know Fort Scott has a board of Grusher or something. You may want to find out when they meet and maybe go
Address them.
let them know that you're available and
Okay. All right.
Guess my question is
Sure.
now we're in the new year, what is the status of Crosby Township since we approved the contract? Do we
Oh.
get a patrol car now, or
Not
since
until-
Harrison is not on board, and I don't know if Whitewater is,
They're not
what
yet
is the status of
Yeah,
how that's all going down?
I know Whitewater approved. I'm not sure where Harrison Township is about it.
Well, according to the Harrison Press, they were still sliding their feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means it's still just
Still in limbo.
just the way we are until there's something that all three can agree upon, is my understanding.
Okay, I was just
So.
wondering what the status
Who,
of that was.
who is it that's hanging out?
Harrison Township,
Yeah, I talked to Tom Lozakamp, and they haven't.
yeah.
Is it
So-
they haven't yet, or they're
They
they're
haven't
not going
decided.
to?
No, they just haven't decided.
So, all right. So I'll take this. If things change, just email me, or if a citizen has suggestions, they can email me too. So, all right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
yeah, I think it's based on the history a lot. So
So public at large. Okay, then we'll go to Alan, unless you want to move to the end of the,
Hey, I
passed along a resolution to enter into that consulting agreement with Bob May. And all we need is a resolution number and then someone to
Move it.
move and second to approve the resolution.
And I guess my question, just to make sure I understand this correctly, is I think we addressed this
We addressed it at the organizational meeting, but I don't know if
not by
we-
resolution.
But I don't think it was by resolution.
No.
Okay. I just want to, that was my memory. I just want to make sure I had that right.
Because we didn't have it at that time, did we, Alan? You get,
Pardon me?
you got this together, right? This is,
Yeah.
Yeah, I prepared that for this coming meeting, and we've done that in the prior agreements with Bob. And then we enter into a resolution once the contract is,
So it was just a motion from our organization.
so the
Yeah, I
motion,
saw that
you
too.
already passed it by motion, you're saying, at the organizational meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just cross-referencing that with the language in the resolution and making sure they both listed like the same trustee as having authority to sign, which they do. We talked about Dennis signing, so this is going to be resolution number 08-2024. And I can take this one that I marked and pass it down for your signatures if you'd like.
I so move that we adopt resolution number 08-2024.
I second it.
Roll call.
Loman,
Yes.
Hyam,
Yes.
Heis.
Yes.
Is the okay? I'm passing this down.
That's all I have.
We were talking on the organizational meeting whether to close the park over there on River Road because of lack of use and nefarious people over there at times. What's your legal opinion on that?
Well, I don't have one right now.
Okay,
so
well,
it's the first I heard about it.
well, I figured we probably ought to have if we could do
Okay.
that legally
Oh, I'm sure you could.
and just lock the gate over there. And then we were talking about maybe donating it to Great Parks because they wanted access to the river for their,
Well, yeah, now you
And
probably,
then-
if you're donating real estate, you probably, there's statutes you have to follow
Right.
for that, so,
right. But
Wow.
that's
yeah.
what we're kind of looking at, just so
Okay.
you're aware.
I will check the statute.
Okay,
There was nothing else, I guess, on the new Baltimore firehouse or
that's
anything?
pretty much closed.
I mean, we haven't heard anything, or?
Nope.
Yeah, we got in the minutes from the last meeting that there was both. I think there was the termination of lease was recorded and notice was given that the electric was being
Great.
turned off. So that should be.
I forgot to mention, I emailed all three of you trustees, Mr. Trends and Mr. Wallace, about dropping the insurance on that building. And Mr. Trends' recommendation is a courtesy that we notify them that we're doing that. So I don't know who wants to do that. As a courtesy, or you could.
I'll do it. I'm sure I'll get response back on that, but.
I'm just saying, I don't care who does it, but
Yeah, well, I only have one contact,
But-
so I'll text him and let him know that our insurance is off the building.
Just tell them it expired. I mean, they know we don't have it anymore, so there's no reason to insure it.
Right, and that should be a no-brainer,
I have
but
an obvious. Thank you, Alan.
Good evening, everyone.
Maintenance, Mike?
I just got a few things. First one is in those folders. you'll see the orange folder or a purple folder. Maintenance inventory. I think I got everything down that is ours over in the maintenance building and any other maintenance areas. I might have missed a couple little odds and end things, but that's as close as I can get at this time. And it's pretty thorough. I went and found model numbers and serial numbers, and I went through the whole thing and filled it all out. Pretty thorough for you guys. So,
Good. Appreciate that.
yep. And I'll continue to update it too as needed. So, second thing in that folder, you'll see a sales order from Cornerstone Equipment for a new mower. I went up the other day and we looked at a 2023 model Spartan. And I got the guy to come down quite a bit of price and add some other bells and whistles on it that we could use. And still, I think it's $12,409.94. And the delivery charge, he said he'd deliver it for half of the price that he normally does because he's not busy right now. So we don't even have to drive to go get it. I think, if I remember correctly, you guys approved $15,000.
I
So
think
it's
you're,
a couple $100 less. So I guess that's a good thing. I haggled. So I'm looking for approval for you guys to cut a check, and we can get that.
so the operation of this machine is similar to the ones that you have, so that
Oh, yeah, it's
So if
It's almost identical.
help won't have problem
no
operating it.
no problems whatsoever.
Is this the closest place that you can buy it from?
Dillsboro, yes. It's 40 minutes.
So if you need service or parts, you have to go to Dillsboro?
Service I can do, and parts we just order online.
But if it's, what kind of warranty is on it?
I'm not sure if it says on here or not.
Because then if you would need warranty work done or anything.
Yeah,
you would
then
have
we
to
just
it
just
there.
take it up there, which is, like it says, it's like 40 minutes. It's not very, it's on Route 50.
Yeah, I mean, I know where it is, but it's
Yeah.
just not close.
Well, the only thing that's close is an Martin Toro dealers. I mean, as far as, proximity. Even, well, John Deere, but that's all in the same place. And
Where's
for-
that?
over there at Bud Herbert's.
But they
Yeah.
don't do this, right?
No, not for warranty work, no. But, I mean, the prices of John Deere's, Marks, and Toros are well over $15,000 for what we've got here. For, 2,500 less.
Yeah, I mean, that's
And how often?
minor because you're a lot closer for service or parts or anything. You're 2 miles away.
Right, but how often are we going to have warranty issues? How often have we
Well,
taken our
parts
other
you might
mowers?
need it. I mean, parts you could just go get if you need it.
Yeah, I just order. I've got the same mower. I order my parts online and they have them delivered the next day. I don't have to go anywhere. They deliver it to my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything
Everything's pretty much
everything
that
on
way.
this mower, I can rebuild it myself. So you don't even have to take it anywhere unless it's for warranty issues. Which I had them take. They have a keypad for security. I had them eliminate the keypad and put an ignition switch like a normal mower because of the warranty issues. That's their main flaw is the keypad. So we just went back to the traditional, key instead of having a key code. I don't even know if that's on there, but he said he'd take care of that. I don't see anything about the warranty, but I can ask. That's not an issue. But everything's rebuildable and we can do it in-house.
I don't have a problem with it. I would go ahead and approve it pending that there ought to be, I don't know how much of a warranty comes on a mower.
Yeah,
Rod-
I've never bought a brand new one. So-
Yeah, it's,
There should be.
workmanship, there should
Yeah.
be at least a 3-month warranty or something so I would, see what kind of a warranty is on it, so you know. But I don't have a problem. You're saving money, and like you said, everything gets shipped to you next day, so for $2,500 saving, you can afford to drive once or twice to Dillsboro if you have to.
Yeah, and I travel through there about once a month anyway, so, I mean, if I need to pick up parts, I'll do it on my time.
My understanding is this expense has already been approved by the trustees, right?
Yeah, it was appropriated.
Appropriated, right, but did you like officially approve like the expense of up to?
It was up to 15,000. Is what they
You're
approved.
gonna have to go back and look. I can't remember.
I don't think it's not like a resolution issue. I don't think it's that critical. I guess for our purposes, I'm putting that we're having discussion on the purpose of a new mower. And if it's been approved, I'd say, I guess if you have any objections, any of you guys,
I don't have any objections.
let him know.
I'm okay.
All right. If you want a motion, I can make a motion.
I'm saying I don't think we need one. I mean, if the expense has been approved and he's just kind of
Yeah,
Right, he's just
bringing
wanting
it
the
to you in an
okay
open
'cause he
meeting,
can't.
seeing if there's any problems with, expensing this.
Okay.
Any issues, Mr. Lohman?
No, they're okay with it. I'm just a little, that was my thing, is the distance where it is, and I'd rather keep business local as much as possible. But if you two are okay with it, then so be.
Okay. Then you can, I guess, we can go ahead, we can pay it. Mr. Carter, you see any problems with going ahead and paying it, with it being approved?
No.
Okay. All right.
thank you. And then also, I printed out my email that I sent to you guys about Harry's phone. I didn't know if you wanted to discuss it, since we talked about it a little bit previously.
Well, my feelings on the phone, I texted Mike back what I thought. I don't have a problem with Harry keeping the phone for another year because Mike has valid questions, learning the position yet on Harry's expertise. But then I think after a year, I think we ought to get the phone back. And because you should have all the information out of Harry that you need. That'd be my opinion.
Yeah, I was thinking about a year too, and then I give Harry time to find out a phone.
Yeah, you can get his information off of it.
Yeah, I mean,
His
it's,
grandkids could take care of that for him.
Right.
it's just nice, I mean, he's never asked for nothing in return, and anytime I call, he either he answers it or he calls me right back, and he's always happy to help. As a matter of fact, he's mentioned about the how do you say it, the indigent. He says he knows all about the burial, how to do it. He's more than happy to come out and show us how to do it. He even knows where the spot is where it can be buried, where the person can be buried. So he's more than happy to still continue to serve his community. And I just thought that, it wouldn't hurt to continue to pay it, what is it, $50 a month for his phone.
I'd let go then 2025.
Yeah.
I would say it's time to bring the phone in.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Just till the end of till January 1st of 25.
Okay.
I mean, that gives him plenty of time.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Yeah, I think he would appreciate it. So
Yeah, and this wasn't his idea, just to let you guys know. It was all on me. I just think he's great, and he, for doing what he's still continuing doing. So
you got a list of all the phone numbers. You just call all the people we call, right?
oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, and if I don't have it, I can call him and he'll, he can get it to me.
so I'm not sure if there's anything else on his phone that you don't already have.
Right.
So,
So, that's all I have.
Here's the occupancy. He should put that in the office. The only thing I have for you, last year we got bids on redoing the community center parking lot.
Yes.
I would like to take and meet with one or two of them to bone up on what their bids entail.
Okay.
But then I would also like to look at doing a repaving up in New Baltimore on Tool Lane, Mesa Lane, and Hacienda Lane. That blacktop is disintegrating.
What are the roads again?
Tool Lane, Tule, Mesa,
I believe the locals call it Thule, actually.
Thule,
Yeah, Thule.
Mesa Lane, and Hacienda Lane. They're all right there. Probably add them all together, it's only a quarter of a mile. But I'd like to take and maybe, when those guys come out and talk about their bids out here, I'd like to have them go up and bid that and put it all together, because we'd probably get a better price putting together a bigger project than doing both of them separate.
Do we have a projected time frame where we're thinking about having it done?
I would like to meet with them in the next week or two.
Next week or two?
Yep, because I would think that if we wanted to go ahead with this project and we get some feedback from them, that we would put it out for bids by the 1st of February, so that they get us in on their work schedule for the year. We don't want to come in late. That'd be my opinion.
Okay.
Just remember, if it goes over $75,000, well, there's a difference now with roads and parking lots. Like a road project, you can go up to I'd have to double check, like $225,000.
I think you're right on that, because I remember seeing that figure.
Without prevailing wage. So I understand what you're saying, and I don't know if Alan would have to let us know.
Well, we'd have to see, if we'd have to do a
one would be a
bidding.
road project and the other would be a parking lot project. I know they don't want you to separate them to avoid prevailing wage, but we're doing two different things. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, well,
We didn't,
I'd like to get more information on what they're wanting to do out here, and then I would have them go up there and look at it and give me an estimate. And then if it blows through that we have to do public bidding, we gotta do public bidding.
Yeah.
so was that we didn't budget any of that, right, those roads?
Not that we didn't, but I'm pretty sure that it shouldn't come in. It depends on whether they think that they can lay 1.5 inches down on top of the existing pavement and we can get by without grinding, or if they think that we have to grind it and then put down 3 inches. There's gonna be a big cost difference there. Going up into the two side roads, Hacienda Lane and Mesa Lane, there isn't any curbing. It's just the driveways coming down, so they could taper the blacktop into the driveway. And if they would just lay down a new coat over top, that would be the easiest. But then when you get down to Tool Lane, down in front, there's curbing and drains. And whether they can go ahead and put another 1.5 inches on it and not affect that, that's out of my expertise. But, we need to do something with those roads up there because they're junk.
I was reading in this township book, and I know I brought it up before about gas tax, and it did say that it's gonna decline. They're expecting it to decline because of EVs and because they're making cars high fuel
Better
efficiency
gas mileage.
now. They were saying how much, I marked the page.
I would be looking for the General Assembly to pass a different rule on taxing.
Well, they're
EVs
taxing them
and
some,
stuff.
but not nearly what it would be to replace for.
Right, that's gotta come up for consideration.
Saying by 2040, they'll be generating, they're estimating 877 million less in revenue than they are now.
They're putting estimates of 2040 in there.
Anything can happen
With
between now and
mandates of-
2040.
Of
Hell, we might all be flying.
they're making, cars have to be 55 miles an
Yeah.
hour or something.
They're gonna run out of the raw materials they make batteries with.
I'll
by
tell you
then.
one
They
thing,
don't
by
think about
2040, I'm
that.
not gonna
Yeah.
be here.
You might be sitting right there.
I don't think so.
Gonna run out of cobalt to strip mine.
And the other thing is, with our basketball court out here, do we want to look at what it would cost to make that a pickleball court? pickleball court, I Googled it online. It's a 20 by 40. That basketball court, I never measured it, but I kind of stepped it off, and it's like 27 by 27 or 30 by 30. So if, you know, think about it. If you
What's it need to be? You said?
20 by 40 is what a pickleball court is.
So you'd have to add 10 feet to one side? of it?
Right. But that's concrete out there, so it'd have to be either concrete or we'd have to resurface the whole thing. And I think a pickleball court's probably blacktop. So, you know, we'd have to blacktop over the concrete or whatever, but we can think about it. We can, you know, look into it further. I just did that online. I never looked into what pickleball courts were, if they're blacktop or if they can be any surface type.
I wonder if they put that like hard court surface over top of blacktop, like a tennis court or something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
Not sure.
So that would be all that I have.
Is there any around here? Course?
There's some in Harrison.
Is it in a school maybe?
Most of them are inside,
Down at
like
the
up at
community
the
center has them outside.
Forain's got them inside, Y's got them,
Put
so,
one in here
yeah.
when they're not playing volleyball.
All right, that's all I have for him.
Anything else
Chair
for Mike?
pickleball.
What?
Chair pickleball.
Yeah. All right, fire, Chief Davis.
December run totals, we had 40 EMS details, 22 fire details, for a total of 66 details in December. One of our medic units was involved in a deer strike, going to an EMS detail. The crew was okay. Damage was minor. Insurance was notified and estimates are being presented to them for repairs. The new fire engine was delivered to Atlantic's maintenance facility in December. They were able to place the hand tools and brackets onto the apparatus. The engine was delivered to us on Friday. The next step is to have it scheduled for radios and MDC brackets as soon as possible. Once it comes back from those two locations, crews will start drive time and training on the vehicle. And after that's done, we'll place it in service. We'll do something special called a push-in, or we'll have you guys over and we'll take photos and push it in to use it for a first out fire engine.
You want us to break a beer bottle over the bumper or something to christen it?
Something like that.
Champagne.
Okay.
We have
It's gotta
something
be better than
in store for that.
some Pappies, 23.
I want to thank Mike for allowing us to store our spare medic unit at the maintenance building to allow us room for the new fire engine. And then once the expansion at Station 28 is complete, we'll move that medic unit back over so that everything is together in one location for us. Attached to your report is the 2023 year-end report. Our total details increased by just over 10% from the previous year. Our EMS details increased by 5%, and the fire details increased by 18%. That's about average. Fire was a little up this year composed to 21 to 22, so. And the last thing I have is I do have the fire department's inventory list, which I'll turn in at the end of the meeting.
The only thing I have is, since we signed a contract with Bombay, the geotechnical company that's gonna do 3 or 4 test holes out there. When, I do not know. And then Abercrombie is gonna be out because they're gonna do a site plan. So they'll be out there measuring stuff and doing their thing. And then, I guess when they get the salt building emptied out, if they want to take and demolish it as far as they can demolish it, give them something to do if they get bored.
I noticed that there were some spray paint marks on in the driveway and around the building, so I don't know if somebody's been out there already to
Okay.
paint or if that was from maintenance.
No, it wasn't us, somebody else was, yeah. they were
Okay.
out there.
So they may have been out there
Yeah.
getting ready to come back out again. Okay.
Is there fencing there, I think, from the Shaker Cemetery?
There's
Somebody
like
told me?
5, 6 pieces.
Yeah,
We-
make sure
we can
those
move
aren't-
them over to our area.
Yeah, make sure they're not gotten rid of, because
Yeah.
those could be used, that's from the Shaker Cemetery.
We'll take care of that, yeah.
Okay.
And then, I know I'd mentioned before, but you know that there's grants available from that OTAR MIA. You can get up to $1,000 a year for, like, personal protection equipment and that.
I believe you gave me something in my mailbox.
Yeah.
I'll read up on that and.
And then, Brian had mentioned you turned in payroll, but it should have had the raises on it, which it did not.
Our raises don't start until the first full pay cycle of January.
Okay. Because he just asked me about it.
Yep.
And then have you looked into like insurance, like a better rate on?
We have a third party doing a comparison right now. The 8 guys had filled out some paperwork and they're going back and forth, and so it's an ongoing process.
Okay. Then I have this information again, this grants, but I guess you could probably just do it online, but it sounds like it's pretty easy to do.
From what I've read, it is,
So,
yeah.
yeah. That's all I have.
Okay.
Chuck, all right, thanks. Community coordinator, Dennis is gonna fill in, but with not as spunky a voice.
I'll try. Crosby Day at Stricker's Grove is officially set for Sunday, May 19th. They recently contacted me to say that there was a movie filmed this past December at the amusement park. It stars Ben Stiller, I guess his name is, called The Nutcracker, and will be released for Christmas 2024. Now, I know I went past that when they were shooting out there. I think I went out there past it on a Saturday, and Sunday morning I went up through there to go to my brother's, and they had all the trailers and everything cleaned out there. It's like, where did everything, it's just like they got vacuumed up, because that parking lot was half full of equipment. And so it's kind of interesting how that all works. Crosby Cafe continues to host live music on the third Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. and there's no admission charge. January 17th is the date of this month's cafe. We had such a great time last month with excellent musicians and a crazy fun snowball fight in the room. I was there for that. She had cotton snowballs or whatever in the heck they were made out of. And you cannot turn senior citizens loose with stuff like that. The guys were up here playing, and nobody was paying attention to them. They were back there throwing snowballs at each other. It was a hoot. And so it's a wonder that few of them didn't have sprains the next day from throwing their arms out of socket.
Something lit up, so there was something hard inside.
Well, some of them had lights in them.
Yeah, but there's so much pattern you can hurt anybody.
Funis Senior Club highlights include, we will have our January kickoff meeting tomorrow, January 9th. The seniors will start out by meeting for lunch at BW3's at 11:30. They will then come to the community center for a short meeting at 1 p.m. A health rhythms program follows, which involves hand drums. Wii bowling is on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and chair volleyball is on Thursdays at 10 a.m. This month, Dinner with Friends will take place on Thursday, January 25th. Everyone will meet at the farm in Delhi for a buffet dinner at 5 p.m. On January 27th, we are hosting a Super Saturday, and a Super is S-O-U-P-E-R. Event here at the community center at 1:30 p.m. Everyone is bringing their best homemade soup for lunch, followed by a program by a band called Foley Road. Their program description is an exceptional rendition of Celtic and folk music in the acoustic tradition, using instruments like the hammered dulcimer, Gothic harp, various guitars, flutes and whistles, and percussion instruments like the bodhram. Taking inspiration from Celtic musicians, both traditional and contemporary, they perform original songs as well as songs by other singer-songwriters. Should be a great cafe concert. And then we are looking into an overnight excursion in late February that will probably be in a state park. And that's her report.
Thanks, Dennis. Okay, fiscal officer, Matt.
Brian made a couple calls, looked into the current CD rates, and currently CD rates are around like 4.5%. Star Ohio's still at like 5.58%. So it seems clear keeping in Star Ohio for right now is the best idea. I would say until those two numbers change, or until Star Ohio dips below the CD, it would be a good idea to stay in Star Ohio versus having the CDs. The CDs obviously is a guaranteed amount. You don't realize the benefit of that amount until after the CD is over. I don't think any reasonable person would foresee the money market rates once they go below where the CDs are at, coming back up anytime soon. So once they dip below the CDs, we could relook at putting money in the CDs.
So are you gonna transfer some money into the
Yeah, so
Star account?
so then we'll add money from the checking account into the Star Ohio account. That's where we're at on that. You guys asked to get more specific numbers on the CDs, but so we'll move more money in that between this meeting and the next meeting. Chuck did that years ago, I think. I haven't done the mechanics of that yet, so we want to make sure we do it exactly right, and Brian and I will work on that. We still don't have the final report from the audit. We will be, I don't think it's a real big issue, but they want us to approve some extra auditing fees with the length of time that it's taken. This basically has happened every time we've had an audit since I've been here. I mean, it was like this when we had the private sector auditor as well.
Yeah.
Especially with the stuff that we're dealing with coming out of the past couple audits. It's nothing that was unexpected in my opinion, so we're going to approve that. And they'll say things sometimes like the amount of time it takes to get stuff from us, but really they ask for things, we give it to them, then they ask for more things, and it's kind of one of these things where you're in like almost like a minimum week-long interval of communications, and then what ends up happening is this audit that they said was going to take 30, 45 days max, and I don't think Brian or I ever believed them when they said that. When it's all done, because of the late start that we had doing the audit, we'll be gearing up for the next audit. And I'm looking forward to the day when the audits are started on time, and then we get them done on time. And then we can actually implement the things that are listed in the audit findings for the next audit, but we're not at that point yet. And so it's kind of a long play as far as those audits go. I think that's all I have.
On the final appropriations that we went across at our organizational meeting, are they in this month's fiscal report, or do they start next month?
Next month.
Next month. Yeah, you're looking at the stuff from
So this
the
is
end of
basically
December.
Yeah, okay.
And and that's your December bank reconciliation, et cetera.
On the interest rates, from when I had discussions, they're thinking since the jobs report came out hot, that the feds will probably keep interest rates pretty stable for a while. And so our interest rates at the bank will probably stay stable for going into the first half of this year.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I would agree with you. I mean, I know the general idea is that, like the Fed said, that they could lower interest rates 3 or 4 times, and then there's always the question of, like, is it 1/4%
Right.
or 0.5%?
But I don't-
But I don't. I think we're done with the raising of them for sure. So once they go down, and I know that they're going to want.
They'll go
I know
down
they're
slow.
Yeah, because they're not going to want to lose the housing markets and other big factors in the
And
finances.
government needs cheap money to operate on.
Yeah.
And right now, the government's paying a lot of interest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Trillion
Okay.
a year. Anything else for Matt?
Nope.
Thanks, Matt. Zoning, Rick?
We issued 6 zoning permits last month, 1 driveway extension, 2 commercial solar electric installations on 2 buildings, and 3 new residences. And that's all I have.
the old houses are going up on Sedona Reserve.
I issued 3 more tonight.
Well, they got about 15 of them up there already or more.
Roughly, yes.
Yeah,
I told you last time they're falling out of the sky. I watch them
tell
every
you.
morning.
they're flying in up there, that's for sure.
Anything else for Rick? All right, thank you. Old business, me. On one of our policy things, Brenda, I think, had asked me, there was something about it. Was there a tax exempt policy? She thought that it made it sound like if tax had to be paid on anything, that the person buying it would have to pay the tax.
So if there is, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Is she talking about reimbursements?
Yeah, because she made it sound like if she went to Dollar Tree and bought some stuff, because it would be a lot cheaper than like Staples or something. And of course, you
They
can't.
don't have an account.
Right, you can't get tax exempt like a Dollar Tree, that she would personally have to pay that tax. Like we would not reimburse the tax on something.
Is that tax exempt certificate? So you could take that
But
with
not
you.
everybody
You can't-
takes
a lot-
those, Chuck.
Stores like
Places.
that will not use it,
Like,
take it.
when
Places, yeah.
when we use Amazon, they don't take it, but it's always cheaper to go through Amazon
Yeah.
than it is to go some other places. And-
Yeah,
and-
this was.
I mean, it's something we'll have to
You
look
guys
at.
are gonna have to figure out how you want to deal with that, because I mean, to be honest with you, Chuck got real bent about sales tax related stuff, and especially with the advent of Amazon being, one of the leading vendors that we use for stuff, and it's hard to do that. I mean, that was a long time ago.
I don't have a problem with us reimbursing sales tax because
I don't either.
sometimes it's a matter of convenience too.
Yeah.
And
And
expense. I mean, if you're gonna spend $10 here or get it for $2 and pay tax at Dollar Tree or something. I mean, I know like Brenda price shops things, which is good, but you can't go to Kroger's or somewhere and get a tax exempt, hand them a tax exempt form. They're not gonna take it.
I think maybe Staples, do they take it?
Yeah, but they're a lot more expensive on.
Yeah, but I mean, we do buy stuff at Staples you can't buy
The other
anywhere
thing
else.
is, this is a dead dog. The other thing is if Brenda goes to Kroger's and pays tax versus, okay, well, we're not gonna reimburse you for the sales tax you had to
I
pay
know,
at
that's-
Kroger's, then we're gonna pay her mileage to drive to Sam's where we don't
know.
pay sales tax, and are we
Yeah.
really saving any money and are we saving any time? But,
I'd say, well, I don't have a problem with reimbursing sales tax,
I mean,
convenience item.
I think if there's going to be a policy, it should be a policy that simply says whenever possible,
Right.
a sales tax exemption form shall be used for purchases for the township.
I agree.
And then the way that, and then, you know, if it seems like there's a repeated, you know, neglect or abuse of that, then it's up to the financial office and the trustees who sign checks as well to look into it and correct it. I mean, you put your policy, you tell them what to do.
So we have to go back in and amend our policy?
I don't know, because that wasn't really on the
Docket.
agenda for today, and I don't have them sitting in front of me.
Okay, well, let's
go back
let's bring
to
it up
it.
for the next meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would think most of the local companies like Staples, well, you can't get, you go there because you can't go anyplace else. You can set up an account, that'd be a tax exempt account.
Yeah, we do that,
We're
Chuck. I
talking
mean,
about
because
if she had to buy napkins or something.
No, it's other stuff.
we're set up
I'm
with
talking
we're
about-
set up with Staples.
She can get a big pack of napkins for $2 instead of $10, tax exempt. It'd be wise for her to buy the $2 ones and pay the extra 15 cents or whatever.
I think, if I remember, on UNN, you can print out a list of all the company we deal with, like Staples and Home Depot. And
Well, yeah, the thing is, even when we do this, Chuck, I've gone to Staples one time and had things tax exempt. I've gone back and they couldn't figure out how to give me tax exempt status. You go to Home Depot, and if you don't go to the pro desk,
Yeah.
they're pretty good. Staples or Home Depot is, if you don't go to the pro desk, they're gonna charge the sales tax. But when I pay Home Depot bill, they're really good about, I don't pay the sales tax, I give them our tax ID number, and they credit us that.
right.
But not everybody's
Well, I'm just
that
saying,
way.
like
But
maybe
it's
Mike.
like, even with Staples, like I said,
Yeah,
it depends on who's your cashier, whether you get tax exempt and who you don't.
yeah.
Chuck, I get what you're saying, but the problem with you can print out a list of all the vendors, and then you could highlight the ones that have tax exempt or not. But that has nothing to do with the fact that you can shop for the benefit of the township. Your departments can price shop and beat the nominal savings that come from shopping at
Yeah.
a tax exempt status. So it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go through all of the time and effort to do what you're saying, because they're going to look for the best deal for the township first and foremost.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying, like Mike, he might not aware of who we might have account with that could be tax exempt, like Staples.
Oh, yeah, I've got a list in my office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that instead of using a credit card, you can use the account
Yeah.
with a tax exempt.
All right, well, yeah, we'll come back to this at the next meeting.
Okay.
Then I don't know if we talked about, I know what Matt said it was a good idea for that Ohio Township Association, that $250 that it would give us training like for the whole year. That was something new. Did we approve to do that, or?
Yeah, and I don't know that we've signed up for that. I'm not sure the mechanics of it.
Probably go on their
It was kind of like
website.
an alert. What I would consider, it probably, it's going to be a little bit different for you guys than it is for us, probably, because we get notices of and like fiscal related things all the time. I mean, there's usually like one a month. Like Brian and I went to that one in-person one recently.
Did you have to pay though, or?
Yeah, we registered for it, and
My thought is we're probably looking at getting our OTA membership, and I haven't seen anything from OTA. I know we've talked about this, the $250 unlimited training, but, through all the stuff I get and Matt gets, I know they've talked about it, but I haven't seen anything where they've asked us, do you want to join or do you want to do this yet?
I haven't seen anything.
but it's
come
probably
through.
My
coming.
thought is
you're
it
going to get
might-
it too.
It might come when we get our bill to re-up for
Yeah.
OTA.
I hope it does. I hope it's something where it's just like a a
Easy.
level of membership or something like that, but we'll just have to wait and see. And
Okay.
and that also brings up another thing, with, if you guys consider, like, I don't know who's considering going to winter conference or not. I mean, it's,
I was thinking about going up one day. I wasn't gonna stay overnight.
sure. Like, I'll tell you guys, because of the trainings that are specifically fiscal related, I'll just let you guys know that I'm not planning on going. There's so many, opportunities throughout the year that we can do that's, you know, specific for us. I'm just letting you know, I'm not planning on going. I think it's a lot more worthwhile for you guys than,
Well, I've never been to one
Than
yet,
us,
so I thought
yeah.
I'd go up that way. I could see what the vendors are and maybe get some valuable information. off of
absolutely.
them.
That's why I think it's more applicable for you. I know they do something specific for, you know, brand new fiscal officers up there that were just elected, and at the time I did not go to that, but I'm kind of past that now. But anyways, just letting you know that.
That's all I have. Dennis,
What are we on?
old business.
On old business, I know we've had discussions with the Historical Society on who's responsible for rebuilding the floor in there. I got, trying to think what it is now. The program up at the state capital improvement fund. It's every other year. It's on even years. This year is 24. We probably won't get the Historical Society on deck to fill it out. So I'm going to target for 26, which you have to fill the paperwork out a year earlier. So I was wanting to know what the township trustees, to me, the current contract stipulates what we are supposed to be in charge of maintenance. And the inside is not one of them. And so I didn't know if we should change the contract. And where I'm going with this is that the capital improvement fund is 50-50. They'll give you 50% of the project, but you have to come up with 50%. I asked a guy about replacing the floor over there, putting all new joists in, because the joist is on a rock wall in the middle and on both sides. And if we tear it all out and rebuild it with no flooring, just plywood, it's going to be about 25 grand. And so if you get 50% from the state and 50% from us, that would be 12 grand. The Historical Society doesn't have 12 grand. But if the Historical Society, if we took and put their drywall in on it and everything else so that we got one big project, and then the township would be in it a little deeper, but you would get more money out of the state in order to finish the project. They probably would never come up with more. You know what's in the bank account. Can they come up with 5 grand to stick into that?
Not right away, but
Right. So if, to get it off a dead center, for me to put money into more of that building, I would have to change the original contract. Because the original contract says the outside walls, the foundation, the roof, and the windows, and the heating and air conditioning, and that's it. It pretty much tells us what it is. If you guys don't want to do that, and you just want to let it the way it is, I'm just throwing it out there to see if there's any interest in doing something, because if we go down that pike, it'll probably be a $30,000 to $40,000 project. You would get 15 to 20 out of the state, but then we would have to come up with 15 to 20.
Does the state guarantee that they're gonna match it?
It's 50-50. That's
They
the,
guarantee they will?
yeah, if they accept it. And
They wouldn't do just like
historical,
part of it?
historical projects qualify for it at the township level. There's some hoops, they have to be able to use the property. If they want to come down and have a meeting in it, you know, it has to be open to, for them to, for the public. So there's paperwork, I put it in Melba's mailbox. Our state representative, City Abrams, her staff texted me or emailed me the forms, and I printed them off and I gave them to Melba. And I had a phone conversation, but she's still bent on us fixing the floor. And so, you know, I'm just throwing it out there to get some information from you guys. If we don't want to go down that pike, you know, I'm just letting you know what I found out. And right now, you know, we got a new sheriff contract, we got the roads paved and everything, but if we can work down the road and we got the funds to do it, and we get this damn thing done, and it's out of our hair.
Well, then we would be responsible for maintaining the inside then if we change the contract.
Right.
So then we're gonna be probably in the future painting walls or doing something.
Well, it's, you know, it all depends on the fine print in the contract.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it less than 6 months ago you guys had decided that you were willing to jump through some hoops to essentially give the property to them so that they would be able to apply for grants from
Right.
other funding sources to be able to do this kind of stuff, and then they just kind of stopped coming to meetings? I mean,
They don't want it, they don't want it because they
they
don't
would
have
rather
the-
you do it.
They don't have the finances.
But they
Well,
could
but
get
the whole
grants
point
then.
was giving it to them so that they could go get those
Yeah,
finances.
but it's a 50-50.
They could get other grants, so if they owned it, it would be easier for them to get money than if we owned it.
I'm just making sure I remember this correctly because I recall going through this, and then they did, and then they missed like 2 or 3 meetings in a row.
I know. I'm just bringing it up for discussion. You know, if you think about it, if you come up with a brainstorm, let me know. Bring it up at the next meeting, but nothing's gonna happen over there the way it's going. And if that's fine with everybody, well, then that's the way it goes. The ball's in their court. And, to me, we've lived up to our end of the contract. And, you know, I offered to offset some of the costs with my own private donation, and they never took me up on that. So, you know, I mean, just let her go, because we got the building secure now. It's not gonna rot up and fall down. So, it's a historical site, and it'll be there for the next 20 years. So, that's all I have.
On that, I did talk to someone from the Harrison Historical Society to ask them what they do, because they are totally independent of the city. They own the Looker House and the museum, and they either would get grants or they do like some fundraisers they would do through the year, like some wine or chocolate things or something. And so the city does nothing, they get nothing from the city.
It's a standalone organization.
Yeah, and I did have one citizen say that, I guess, the question is it up to taxpayers to fund something like that? They didn't think that it should be. They thought that something like that should be independent. And of course, I didn't give them an answer, but they didn't think that tax money should be used for something like that, that should be independent.
I can see their point on that too. So, okay.
That's what I have on, that's how Harrison does it. I mean, they have limited, very limited funds, but.
They make it work.
They, yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
All right, Dennis, old business.
I have nothing.
Okay.
That was Dennis's. Chuck? You talking
He just asked Chuck.
Chuck,
Okay,
he
okay.
said no. And then, new business, I guess we'll announce, we had our, elections of officers. I'm president, Chuck is vice president. And then WestJet, if no one has any objections, I'll keep doing that. That's all I have for new business. Dennis,
None.
Chuck,
None.
other concerns? Lieutenant Stuckey? And then, our next regular business meeting will be February 12th, 2024 at 7 PM. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So move.
I second it.
That's Dennis, Chuck, roll call.
Norman.
Yes.
Hyam.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
8:30.
Go home and hope
Thank
the
you.